Hi, welcome to my tutorial about the relationship between Web 1.0 and Web 2.0. I am Edwin Carrascal Ortega, and I'm going to talk about this topic. Web 1.0 was exclusive, just was for web designers, and just was on one way. The owners of the web published things, but they didn't receive comments. Was static for the reason I mentioned before, and was in the hands of few. While Web 2.0 has a lot of applications and tools, as you can see in this graphic. And it was used for economy, education, for the government, and for all the society. Web 1.0 is the first generation of the web, which according to Berners-Lee could be considered the read-only web and also as a system of cognition. Web 1.0 began as an information place for businesses to broadcast their information to people. The early web provided limited user interactions or content contributions and only allowed to share the information and read it. While Web 2.0 was defined by Dale Doherty in 2004 as a read-write web. The technologies of Web 2.0 allow assembling and managing large global crowds with common interests in social interactions. The difference between Web 1.0 and Web 2.0 are numerous that are described in the remainder of the paper. Web 1.0 was introduced as a tool for that, while Web 2.0 as a medium for communication between humans. Web 1.0 was mainly a read-only web. Web 1.0 was static and somewhat monodirectional. Businesses could provide catalogs or brochures to present their productions using the web, and people could read them and contact with the businesses. Actually, the catalogs and the brochures were similarly advertisements in newspapers and magazines, and most owners of e-commerce websites employ shopping cart applications in different shapes and forms. The websites include a static HTML page that updates frequently. The main goal of the website was to publish the information for anyone at any time and establish an online presence. The websites were not interactive and indeed were as brochures were. Users and visitors of the website could only visit the sites without any impacts or contributions, and linking structures was too weak. Core protocols of Web 1.0 were HTTP, HTML, and URL. Web 2.0 is the business revolution in the computer industry caused by the move to the internet as platform and an attempt to understand the rules for success on that new platform. Chief among those rules is this: build applications that harness network effects to get better the more people use them. Web 2.0 is also known the wisdom web, people-centric web, participate web, and read-write web. with reading as well as writing. The web could become bidirectional. Web 2.0 is a web as a platform where users can leave many of the control they have used to in Web 1.0. In other words, the users of Web 2.0 have more interaction with less control. Web 2.0 is not only a new version of Web 1.0, flexible web design, creative reuse, updates, collaborative content creation and modification were facilitated through Web 2.0. One of outstanding features of Web 2.0 is to support collaboration and to help gather collective intelligence rather Web 1.0. The main technologies and services of Web 2.0 are included blogs, really simple syndication, RSS, wikis, mashup, tags, taxonomy, and tag clouds. I'm going to try to do a parenthesis here. Web 1.0 just was used to do advertisements, some advertisements. The industry used this web in order to show their products and other things. Why Web 2.0 is used for all people to show and to receive recommendations and other things. In the use of Web 2.0, people have public blogs, wikis, and other things that are very very interesting because people can acquire knowledge and can publish comments and the things can improve. This is finally I'm going to do a comparison of Web 1.0 and Web 2.0. As you can see in the left column, Web 1.0 was just reading, while Web 2.0 you can read and you can write. That means that you can watch the advertisements of that people is showing, and you can write, you can make comments and other things. Web 1.0 just was exclusive of companies. Now Web 2.0 is used for communities. Web 2.0 manage a client server. Now it's peer-to-peer. The protocols were HTML and portals. Now is the protocols ER or RX, RN, RES, as I was explaining in before. Use taxonomy. Now use tags. What's a few like owning. Now the information that you can have here, you can share the information. What's for iPods? Now it's for trade sales. And that's season was used Netscape. Now we use Google tool where you can find anything in a real time. That just web forms. Now there are web applications. Screen scraping now are APLEs. And was dial-up, now is dial-up broadband. That means that the internet is faster. The hard codes in the Web 1.0 were expensive. Now bandwidth costs. You pay depending on the bandwidth of your internet, and the costs are very very cheap. just watch lectures on Web 1.0. Now you can find on Web 0.20 and the tools this use conversations. Just watch for advertising, as I saying before. Now words or of mouth. Service all over the world. Now web services. You can publish free contents, and before the web services were sold and you had to pay for that. Now it's free in a lot of the cases. And finally, information portal. The portal just was for information. Now we use platforms. I hope that this little bit tutorial has served you. Thank you and bye bye.